Why won't start my? They want to hate on my Instagram. Hello world, how is everybody doing on this wonderful, tantalizing Tuesday? There go Instagram. Hello Instagram. Hi YouTube. Hi Facebook. I need to get another camera so I can do my LinkedIn. Somebody tell me how to get my followers up on TikTok so I can go live on TikTok too. I know you got to have 1,000 followers on there. So good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am Toria Howard, former educator for 15 years and girls basketball coach. Now I am a serial businesswoman, all things real estate, commercial real estate, residential real estate here in Memphis, Tennessee, originally from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though, to all my Detroit people? Helping people invest in real estate, and I'm helping people, like it says, fix their credit so they can buy real estate. So just coming on today, I do always do a credit tip, and a market update every single day. So, I mean, not every single day. I'm tired, y'all, so I'm not gonna be on here long because I need to get some sleep. Because I got to get up at 4 a.m. so I can go to the gym because I have a lot of meetings tomorrow. So I'm going to be quick. So drop a one in the chat if you're watching this live. Drop a two in the chat if you're new to my live, and I appreciate you. Drop a three in the chat if you're watching it, the replay. So I always start off with the real estate market in Memphis, Tennessee, which is one of the hottest real estate markets as far as investors are concerned. Now, if you're talking about, you know, purchasing, the best of the best homes, no, but a lot of investors are coming here. So you guys in Memphis, Tennessee need to get ready and understand that a shift in the tide is coming. If you're not buying your real estate, it's going to be bought up by investors. I have California investors calling me every day about property here. A lot of out of state because in their markets, the real estate is high. And in Memphis, it's a lower barrier entry. Now, it might seem high to you, but to them, when you're talking about a house that's in Collierville, it's like a $10 million house in California. So you got to realize, like, people are not waiting, they're striking, they're coming to the lower barrier of entry markets to invest. So if you're not, you know, willing and ready to step up your game so that you can do what you need to do, then you're going to get lost in the sauce. So with the market update for Memphis, Tennessee, there are 213 as of from the last 7 days. There's 213 new listings. It was a lot of them that came out today, and you have 244 that have been sold. Hey, R. Kenny, thank you for always supporting me. I appreciate it. So, like I said, there's 213 in Memphis. There's 213 new to market. 244 that have sold in the last 7 days, and 167 that are pending, meaning that they are waiting for something to happen, as far as like just waiting to go to the closing table. Because once it gets out of contingency, then the pending is when you ready to go to the closing table. So you have 167 closings that's about to occur, and pretty soon, and you already had 244. So if you are thinking about buying, you need to tap in. And I'm going to go over the interest rates as well, give you some credit tips about that. But people are moving and shaking. People are buying in Memphis. If you want to be one of those people, hi, Davita. If you want to be one of those people, you gotta get your affairs in order, because things are moving. Things are still going to continue to move. So, like I said, there's 213 new properties that came on the market as of the last 7 days. You have 244 that have been sold and 167 that are pending, meaning that they are about to close. So, with that being said, I was looking at, before I get to the credit tip, I was looking at the top housing markets. Can somebody guess where Memphis ranked in the top housing markets of 2022. Where do you think Memphis ranks? I know a lot of people talk bad about Memphis, but where do you think it ranks? It's number 17 on the list out of 100. Ah, James, nope. Number 17. You got to give him a little credit now. And number 17 on the list. My hometown, Detroit, being 12. But that's because a lot of investors are coming in Memphis into Detroit because of the low barrier entry. What was surprising, number one, was Boise City, Idaho is number one. And I heard about it the other day. Somebody was like, yeah, Boise is booming. Like, what they doing in Idaho? What kind of houses they selling in Idaho? So Idaho, I just round out the top 15. So Boise City, Idaho is number one. Austin, Texas, number two. Ogden, Utah. Now, I just got off the phone with a Salt Lake City. Yeah, the land is cheaper. I got off. I had a conversation with a real estate agent out of Salt Lake City. He said they still booming. So Utah is doing some things. Vegas is number 4 on the list. Of course, Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia is moving a lot of houses. Phoenix, Arizona, Spokane, Washington, another Provo, Utah, Salt Lake City is number 9. So Utah has 3 cities in the top 100 housing markets. So you know they're selling real estate in Utah. Charlotte, North Carolina is 10. Fort Myers, Florida, 11. Detroit, Michigan. Like I said, in Detroit is a low barrier entry. It's a lot of investors that's going in there. So if you're in Detroit, you better buy you some real estate because they're buying it up. Lakeland, Florida, and Tampa, Florida, 13 and 14. And Raleigh, North Carolina is booming at 15. Nashville is 16. And then Memphis is 17. Dallas, Fort Worth is 18. Colorado Springs, 19. Melbourne, Florida is 20. Florida's on here a lot. They have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 cities on the list in the top 25. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, 24, and Youngstown, Ohio. There's a lot of things going on in Ohio, too, because they got a low barrier entry, too. And their laws are a little bit, I'm hearing, that their laws are, as far as like the housing, are a little bit easier than the barrier entry. I thought about the movie Moving with the late Richard Pryor moving to Boise. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that movie, R. Kenny. So there's a lot of moving and shaking going on. I talked to I didn't even realize that Raleigh, North Carolina had a lot of things booming. Raising retirement. Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina it has an Amazon. They get Google. They get Apple. They got a lot of stuff going on. So tap in to Raleigh, North Carolina. They're doing some things out there. So that's the top 25. Top 100. Now, some of the top 25 cheapest states to buy a house in this year will be West Virginia. I don't know who wants to live there, but God bless you, because nothing is in West Virginia but hills and hillbillies. That's just my opinion. Arkansas, Mississippi is number 2. And these are just like the medium home values are the lowest. So they're the cheapest. Arkansas, number 3. Oklahoma, number 4. Iowa, number 5. Kentucky, number 6. Alabama, number 7. Kansas, 8. Ohio, 9. Louisiana, 10. Indiana is 11. Missouri is 12. Michigan, 13. Nebraska, 14. A lot of things going on in Wisconsin. They're 15. Illinois is 16. Pennsylvania, 17. North Dakota. Who is going to North Dakota? Please let me know. It's cold up there. I met a guy that went to North Dakota State. He said he had never been that cold in his life. It was a negative 64. I couldn't even imagine. Could you imagine being a negative 64? They could have all of that. I had enough of that in Detroit. So South Carolina is 19. New Mexico, 20. South Dakota, 21. Tennessee is number 22 on the list. Texas is 23. Georgia is 24. North Carolina rounds out the top 25. So You go from 130,000 to 302,000, being the cheapest out of the top 25. So see that range. So there's a lot of things going on in real estate, and you got to be privy to it. So I'm going to talk about mortgage rates based on your credit score. And I did post this on my page, so go check it out. Give me a like on that, and give me a comment. So if you don't know, interest rates changed again today, because yesterday when I checked them, they were different, and today they are even higher. So the longer you wait to buy your real estate, the more it's going to cost. Now, there is a prediction that I heard from another real estate investor that prices is gonna turn around here in the next 60 days. We shall see. It's already trending in California, Texas, and Florida, that it's going to turn back into a buyer's market. So if you're not prepared, look, 60 days to get prepared for some inventory to come on. And some people that wanna buy a house, have been trying to fix their credit since last year, that I've been talking to, in 60 days is about to ramp up, according to some sources. So in 60 days, you're gonna see a change in the market, because something has to shift in the market in order for it to regulate. You can't have interest rates, inflation, and housing prices going up at the same time. Something is going to drop. So it's not going to be the interest rate, and it's definitely not going to be inflation. So the housing prices are going to have to be regulated, and you're going to be able to get back and get incentives, because people are going to be begging people to sell a house. So are you ready to purchase a home? The next 60 days, like I said, by the time October hit, it's going to be a lot of moving and shaking as far as buyers are concerned, and buyers are going to be able to have the upper hand, because it's going to be a lot of inventory. That's what they're predicting. So let's talk about the mortgage rates based on your credit score. Like I said, I did post this on my page, my Instagram, and my Facebook, and my Twitter. So it doesn't matter if you have a 740 or 850, your credit score is going to be the same. So you have to at least get to a 740 to get the lowest interest rate. Let me say that again. If you are looking for a mortgage, 740 to 850 range credit score is going to get you the same interest rate. So it doesn't matter. So as long as you get to that 740, you're good. But don't do anything drastic in between time, because that's going to drop and it's going to increase your interest rate. So if you had this is based on a $300,000 house with 3.5% down. So that means that somebody put 10,500 down on the home, and basically their loan is 289,500. So with that being said, you have today's interest rate for a person that has a 740 to 850 is 5.276. So you got to understand, your credit score is going to determine your interest rate. So with a monthly payment, this is on a $300,000 home, 1602 would be your mortgage payment. The total interest paid on the mortgage would be 287,114. It's a lot of interest to pay on one piece of asset. Now, there's ways that you can pay that house off sooner. So, I'm not an expert in it. I'm still learning. And once I do learn, I'll bring it back to y'all. So you just have to learn how to read an amortization schedule and pay according to your amortization schedule, and you'll be able to pay off your mortgage quicker. So if you have a 720 to 739, your credit score is a 5.8. I mean, your interest rate is 5.817 with a monthly payment of 1702. So this is based on a $3,000 house with a 3.5% down, which is 10,500. And so the total interest paid on that would be 323,152. As you can see, that's a substantial increase from the first number I said, which was 287,114 to 323,152. So once you get to that 720, 739 range, it's going to drop. Your payment is going to be higher. Your bad credit is costing you more than good credit. And it's showing right here with the different interest rates. So 700 to 719, The interest rate is 6.088%, with a monthly payment of 1752. So 1,752. Now, if you think about the previous number that I said, the 1702, then you'll be like, oh, that's only a $50 difference. Wrong. It's gonna still hit your pockets, even though it's $50. And I know people like, oh, $50 ain't nothing. It's still gonna hit your pockets and your interest. So the total interest paid on that mortgage would be $341,261. So if you continue with this same schedule and you have a $300,000 home, you're basically going to pay in interest more than what you purchased the property for. So, so its credit score is 680 to 699. I didn't realize I had a typo on there. Anyway, it's okay. Nobody didn't catch it. But APR is, or the loan rate is 6.579 with a payment of 1843. So you hear, so it went up 41 points. Let me let that sink in. So a credit score from 740 to 850 gets you a payment of 1602. But if you down here in the 680 to 699, I'm saying that's bad, but the lower your price, the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate if you get it from a traditional bank. So your monthly payments is 1853. The monthly payments on the 740 to 850 was 1602. You do the math. Think about how much that $200 difference is going to make in 30 years. And you're paying $200 extra a month because your credit score is lower than a 740. Now, I'm saying 680 to 699 is a bad credit score. That's not what I'm saying. But the lower your credit score under a 740, the more money you're going to come out of pocket when you're paying for your mortgage. So you got to understand that. So if you got a 669 to 679, your mortgage rate is 6.875 with a monthly payment of 1901. So let's go back to that previous number. The monthly payment for a person that bought a $300,000 home with 3.5% down was 5.27% interest, was 1602 a month. Versus if you had a 669 to 670, 669 to 679, 669 to 679, it's 1901. That's a $300 difference. So once again, I'm reiterating, the higher you get your credit score to a 740 or above, the better, because that's almost a $300 difference. So think about that on a monthly basis. What would you do with $300 extra a month? Somebody put it in the chat for me. What would you do for $300? What would you do with $300 extra a month? So you got to realize that the higher your credit, the more money you save. You said buy more food, Ash. I feel you, because we sure do need it. So if you have a 640 to 659, and that's the lowest I'm going, but you can get a loan at 620, but you see the trend here. 640 to 659, you have a 7.125 interest rate. Versus if you had a 740 to 850, you have a 5.276 interest rate. So the lower your credit score, the more money you pay out. So your monthly payments is $1,950. Versus if you had a 740 to 850, you will have your payments would be 1602. $348 difference. And the total interest paid on that mortgage is $412,663. So basically, if you keep this house for 30 years, you have paid more for the house in interest only than the house was originally paid for. So that's why it's an advantage to pay your mortgage off faster. And how you pay your mortgage off faster is reading the amortization schedule. Every bank has the right to give you that. I know Ash probably know, you heard the PIL method. He's exactly right. You have a way that you can pay. So it's the best to buy a house with a higher credit score. Yes, the higher your credit, 740 and above. So it don't matter if you have a 740 or 850. It's still going to be the same interest rate. So as long as you get to a 740, but the 740 is a borderline. So you have to make sure that you're not doing nothing to your credit during that time to make it go down. So don't buy anything on your credit. Don't co-sign for nobody, and pay your bills on time. Because if you get a late payment, it can drop your credit score like 100 points, depending on where it's being reported. So you need to make sure that you are mindful of that. But think about the interest that is being paid over this loan. So that's what I'm saying. The lower your credit score, the more it's going to cost you in the long run, and in the interim, in the beginning. So total interest paid, if you had a 740 to 850 on a $300,000 mortgage, 3.5% down. So that means your loan amount is 289,500. Okay. So you have to make sure that you understand that this is the numbers are coming from. So the monthly payment is 1602. Interest paid throughout the life of the loan is 287,114. But if you have a 640 to a 659, you paying $1,950 a month. And then the interest paid over the month of the loan is almost double, 412,663. So the higher your credit, I'm reiterate it again, the higher your credit score, the less money you're going to spend in the short term and in the long run when it comes to buying a home. Well, anything has an amortization schedule, anything that's revolving, I would say that your house payment, your car payment, your car loan, credit card payments, you need to make sure that you're paying attention to, that schedule, that interest rates. So you're paying more towards breaking. If you pay more towards the paying that interest down, and then the more it'll go back to your principal. So you need to make sure that you understand the lower your credit score, the more money you're going to pay. Point blank in the period. People don't want to hear that. They want me to sugarcoat this thing and say, and I'm saying you can buy a house and get a loan for 580. With a 580 credit score, you can buy a house. But imagine what your interest rate is going to be if you got a 640 to 659, and you have to have at least a 640 in some banks to be able to qualify for down payment assistance. Now, there's other programs out there that are still doing 620, but that's still going to be a higher interest rate. So if you had a 640 to 659, your interest rates are already 7.125. Imagine if you're lower than that, what your interest rate is going to be. So all in all, I come to say, you need to make sure that you have your affairs in order, your finances in order. 60 days, like I was saying, they're predicting there's going to be a shift in the atmosphere. There's going to be some things that's moving and shaking. So, and it's going to go back into a buyer's market. If you're not prepared right now, you need to make sure that you get prepared, because when these houses hit the market, that's going through the roof. Yeah, the higher your credit score, the less money you're gonna pay. The lower your credit score, the more money you're gonna pay. It's a reverse effect. So you need to make sure that you having the highest credit score possible. And like I was saying, a 740 to an 850, there is no difference in the interest rate. It's 5.276. Now, yesterday I reported on it or I told somebody about it. And the interest rate yesterday was in the high fours for a 740 to 850. Now it's already past 5.2. So the Fed is not going to wait for you to figure out if you want to buy a home. The Fed is not going to wait for you to figure out if you want to get your credit fixed so you can buy a home. The Fed is not going to wait for you to build your credit. You think the world is going to stop? It's not. It's going to keep on rising, and it's going to come to the fact where you can't afford the house because of the interest rates, because the interest rate is factored into your loan. So you have to understand that the higher your credit score, the less your house payment is going to be a month, the less you're going to pay in interest over that loan. Now, there's ways you can pay it off for sooner. You know, I'm not an expert on that. I'm not an expert on this. This is just the research that I've done based on what I've seen and trending. So, like here in Memphis, you know, medium home is basically 300,000, depending on the area. Now, here you need to be prepared to have 375,000 if you want to live in, you know, the better areas, quote unquote. But there's still some good areas in the city of Memphis because a lot of those are outside of, you know, the city limits. But there's still a lot of good potential, and if people don't want to start small, they want to go to the apartment with to the mansion, and that's only happens if you win an inheritance, you win the lottery, or you know what I'm saying, you increase your income substantially. So those are some wide range factors that is, you know, in place if you're trying to you know, get the, you know, best interest rates and the best mortgage rates and everything like that. So just be mindful of what you're talking, what you're doing, you know. So if you gotta can't have a champagne taste on a beer budget, start somewhere. People gotta stop being afraid of starting small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. Do what you need to do until you can get to where you want to be. You could take that smaller home, that starter home, and stay in it for a few years, and then use that home. If you don't want to be, you know, you want to invest in real estate, then sell it and use the proceeds to buy a bigger home. Or you can take money out of it, use that money for a down payment, keep that as a rental property. So now you have some income coming in, and then you still have the house that you want. But people are not patient enough to be able to wait and understand that that's how things work. You know, I was talking to a real estate friend today. I call her my friend because we just met, but she's my friend now because we shared some personal information. But, you know, she has a client, and I had the same problem. She has a client that has a lower end budget. I mean, I'm just gonna be real. 120,000 is not gonna get you far, and it's gonna be, you know, and like, you know, not in places maybe you want to stay because of the stigma of the neighborhood. But there's good blocks in the hood. I used to live in the hood, and we had a good block, you know. So it just all depends, and people don't like everybody want to go from you live in the hood, but you don't want to buy in the hood. Does that even make sense? No. You have to. It's a gnat flying around. I'm like, what is that? So you want to go from, you know, the hood to the suburbs, and you can do that, but your income has to match. And I made a post about that. Your credit is a determining factor. Well, good credit is a determining factor on how much income you have. The more income you have, it's statistically shown. The more income you have, the better utilization of your credit that you have. It's just simple. Like, you know, having a 700 credit score and you only can still qualify for $110,000 house, that's just what you can afford because of your income. So you got to stop having the champagne taste on the beer budget. Like, you have to compromise. Start somewhere. Don't be afraid because these interest rates are continuing to climb. They're continually to move. Like I said, the next 60 days are predicting there's going to be a market shift. Now, it might come to your area slower than some. I know probably in Memphis it's going to come slow because usually, you know, South is usually behind a lot of stuff for Florida and Georgia. They tend to be on trend, but it's going to turn around. So, are you prepared to be able to purchase a home? And if you're not prepared, how are you going to get prepared if home ownership is what you want? How are you going to get prepared? So if you need credit restoration, I can help you with that. If you want to buy a home in Memphis, Tennessee, I can help you with that. If you want to, if you need financing for your real estate deals, I can help you with that. So I have a plethora of services, and I have the heart and compassion to serve people. So I want to see people win. I want to see people having home ownership. And like I said before, home ownership in the black community is down to 43% when it used to be like in the mid 60%. And this is across all nationalities, races, creeds, colors. So it what are you going to do about it? Is the question. So just wanted to come on and give you some quick updates on the market so that you can make a sound decision about what you want to do. Home ownership is so worthwhile and so such a catalyst for building generational wealth because it's an asset that can, appreciate, and you can use it to do other things which that you need to do with it. So I say all that to say thank you so much for tuning into my live. I am going to sleep now. I've been working hard today. Do you hear me? I've had Zoom, in person, and phone calls today. I am tired. So those you the entrepreneurs say, "Oh, team, no sleep." Tori is sleeping tonight because I got to get up at 4 in the morning to go work out because I have a slew of meetings tomorrow. So good night. That's why I made you that promise that I will find another area until I get work. There you go, R. Kenny. You got to make sure that you understand. You got to compromise first to get what you want, to get the ultimate goal. Everybody don't want to wait. Everybody want, from 0 to 1,000 in 30 days is what they want me to do. I don't work magic. So if you are looking to buy or sell commercial or residential real estate, please contact me. If you need real estate funding, real estate investment funding, commercial loans, buying, holds, fixing, flips, those type of things, I can help you as well. If you need your credit fixed, as my shirt says, if you need your credit fixed, I would love to help you. You don't have to go with me, but I would love to help you. So you can reach out to me, DM me. Actually, my digital card is attached to my Facebook Live, and then on Instagram, it is in my bio. So I need to put it on my YouTube. But yeah, I'm here to I have a heart to serve and I have a compassion for people. So if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to work with you. If you're not willing to follow the system and follow my directions, I cannot help you. I can't help you. So I say all that to say, y'all have a good night. I'm going to sleep. After I got to take the dog out. But after that, I'm going to sleep. So love y'all. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful night, blessed night, and looking forward to Winning Wednesday tomorrow. So go back, please comment. Please share if you thought this was some good information. Go back and watch the replay because it's always, I try to drop as many gems as I can to help as many people as I can. So go back and watch it. If you find it with some value, please share it, comment on it. Show me some digital currency. All right. So y'all have a good night. Love you. Bye.